Researchers believe stem cells offer great promise for new medical treatments. Learn about stem cell types, current and possible uses, ethical issues, and the state of research. Here's a video that will somehow give you an insight at what stem cells are.
And if you'll just sign here. Alright, you're all set. Have a nice day.
Hey there, little lady. Buck up, why don't you?
What?
Why ever are you so glum?
I just had an abortion! I'm too young for a baby, and so I had to abort it. How can I ever forgive myself? Think of what my baby could have been or done with his life.
Why, your baby did do something. It was chock full of valuable stem cells that are now being extracted for research to help people like your cancer-ridden grandmammy.
What cells?
Stem cells.
Stem what?
Stem cells.
What?
Stem cells.
You've got my attention. Now just tell me more.
It's quite simple, Pumpkin Bits. When a man and a lady get together in that special way, an egg and a spermie team up to make a baby.
Really?
Well, sure. How do you think you got into this situation, honey? Now, this baby goes through a lot before it is really a baby, and it has a lot of different names as time progresses. Zygote, embryo, fetus, omelet, all the lot.
Omelet?
Now, stem cells are magical things. They are divided into two broad categories, embryonic and adult. After a developing baby is a zygote, but before it is an embryo, it is known as a blastocyst.
Like a Pokemon?
Exactly like a Pokemon. The stem cells are found in this blastocyst. Embryonic stem cells have already been used during bone marrow transplants to help people suffering from leukemia or cancer of the blood.
So, the only way to get stem cells is to abort babies? Isn't that wrong?
It is not the only way, but politicians like Barack Obama and John McCain are against other methods, like creating embryos in vitro solely for their stem cells and then discarding them. The belief here is that it is okay to use the stem cells of fetuses that were going to be discarded anyway, but it is not okay to use a lab to play God and mix up some DNA solely for research.
Alright, so I guess I get what stem cells are used for and where they come from, but just what in the name of Richard Nixon's jowls are they?
I believe I have a friend who can help us understand that. Oh, Timmy!
Howdy! I'm a stem cell. I can grow up to be anything I want. There are over 200 different types of cells in the human body, and I have the special ability to be any of them.
You see, Timmy here is like a ball of clay, fresh out of the plastic container. What is he meant to be? A misshapen cow? An inappropriate body part that when the teacher sees you making it, you get sent to the principal's office and have to call your mom and tell her what you made in class today? With stem cells, we could create brand new organs, and people wouldn't have to wait for organ donors. Stem cells helped Superman move a little after he became paralyzed and was told he would never move again.
So, even though I aborted my baby, I might have helped someone else?
Yes, and when you grow up and have a baby for real, you can save his cord blood, which also has stem cells. Then, if anything is wrong with him in his life, he has a nice little supply ready for him, and it didn't take even one aborted fetus to obtain.
So, you doing anything?
I've got to get back to my parole hearing.
What?
I know you've heard about stem cells in the news, and perhaps you've wondered if they might help you or a loved one with a serious disease. You may wonder what stem cells are, how they're being used to treat disease and injury, and why they're the subject of such vigorous debate. To give you a deep understanding on that video, here are some answers to frequently asked questions about stem cells.
Not again. Oh, this ain't supposed to happen to me.
First, what are stem cells?
Her eyes make the stars look like they're not shining.
Stem cells? Stem cells are the body's raw materials, cells from which all other cells with specialized functions are generated. Under the right conditions in the body or a laboratory, stem cells divide to form more cells called daughter cells. These daughter cells either become new stem cells or cells renewal or become specialized cells or differentiation with a more specific function such as blood cells, brain cells, heart, muscle, or bone. Stem cells are unique, and no other cell in the body has the natural ability to generate new cell types.
Where did the stem cells come from?
I see you beside me. It's only a dream. Wishing of what used to be. The laugh.
Researchers have discovered several sources of stem cells. First is the embryonic stem cells. These stem cells come from embryos that are 4 to 5 days old. At this age, an embryo is called a blastocyst and has about 150 cells. These are pluripotent stem cells, meaning they can divide into more stem cells or they can specialize and become any type of body cell. Because of this versatility, embryonic stem cells have the highest potential for use to regenerate or repair diseased tissue and organs in people.
Adult stem cells. These stem cells are found in small numbers in most adult tissues such as bone marrow. Adult stem cells are also found in children in placentas and umbilical cords. Because of that, a more precise term in somatic stem cell meaning of the body. Until recently, it was believed that adult stem cells could only create similar types of cells. For instance, it was thought that stem cells residing in the bone marrow could give rise only to blood cells. However, emerging evidence suggests that adult stem cells may be more versatile than previously thought and able to create unrelated types of cells after all. For instance, bone marrow stem cells may be usable to create muscle cells. This research has led to early-stage clinical trials to test usefulness and safety in people. Amniotic fluid stem cells. Researchers have also discovered stem cells in amniotic fluid. Amniotic fluid fills the sac that surrounds and protects a developing fetus in the uterus. Researchers have identified stem cells in samples of amniotic fluid drawn from pregnant women during a procedure called amniocentesis. During this test, a doctor inserts a long, thin needle into a pregnant woman's abdomen to collect amniotic fluid. The fluid can be tested for abnormalities such as Down syndrome and a fetal maturity. The procedure is generally considered safe for the developing fetus and the mother. More study of amniotic fluid stem cells is needed to understand their potential. Here are the videos that would show how stem cells works.